Joe!
Rube, is that you?
It's me.
Well, I didn't recognize you under all that mosquito gauze.
It's a veil. I think it's chic.
Well, I think you're going to a funeral.
That's right. Didn't you hear that Lurleen Harper's granddaddy died?
Yeah, I read about it in the papers. Wait a minute. I also read that they found a whole lot of money on the old man.
$15,000.
So that's why you're all dressed in black.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're still trying to get together the money to buy the coop, aren't you?
You think I'm playing up to Lurleen to get it from her?
Yep, her.
Billy Joe, I'm going out to that ranch to pay that poor girl my respects.
Your respect? You don't even know Lurleen.
Well, I know her about as well as anybody does, considering how much she keeps to herself. Besides, I like her.
Oh, you like her?
Yeah. Whenever she comes into the coop, we have a great time. I really like her.
Yeah, you like her money. That's what you mean.
That is a terrible thing to say, Billy Joe. I think she's sweet.
Well, I still don't think that's enough reason for you to go to her granddad's funeral.
Oh, well, the funeral's probably over by now anyway. I thought it'd be best to leave that to the family and close friends.
That's very considerate of you, Ruby.
So now I'm going to go out to the ranch and pay that poor girl my respects.
You all right, honey? I'm fine. Such a lovely day. Thought it was going to rain, and that would have made it a lot sadder.
It's a nice fall day.
It's a beautiful spot where my granddaddy's buried. All those trees, and they keep the place up real nice.
Why don't we all have a cup of tea?
I think I'll go upstairs and change first.
And you need some help, Kate?
No, why don't you all just stay out here on the porch? Very nice this time of day.
Okay.
Lurleen seems to be taking it all right.
Yeah, but I think Lurleen tends to keep things inside her, doesn't she, Jenny?
I think Lurleen's feeling pretty lonely right now.
I don't mean to pester you, honey. I know this is a difficult time for you.
I feel so alone now.
Of course you do. It's only natural. You know I love you as if you were my own.
Well, Miss Kate, I love you too.
I'm going to take care of you.
Now then, sunshine. You got 5 seconds to remember where you put those slant drilling papers.
All right. Put the knife down.
Okay, but don't try anything funny or you're gonna be sorry.
I won't. I promise.
Remember, I'll be right behind you to make sure of it.
The papers are in the safe.
Go and get them. Hey, what are you doing there?
I've got to get the keys. Can't open the safe without the keys.
All right. Wait.
It's all there. Every last detail.
Yeah, I can see that. I knew you had these papers all along.
Well, you got what you wanted. Why don't you get out?
Not so fast, you long-legged devil. I ain't finished with you yet.
What do you want? No! No!
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
I'll make some sandwiches for us after a while.
On top of everything else, I should think that Lurleen would be terribly upset over the fact that her grandfather sold the ranch out from under her.
Yeah, without even telling her he was going to plan to do it.
You know, Brett was trying to get some information about the company that bought the Harper place. How's she doing on that?
Thank you. She's got a name and an address. She and Rena are checking that out right now.
Well, is she going to call and tell us about it?
No, Kate. They're coming over here later, I think.
What I can't understand is why in the world old man Harper would sell the place without telling Lurleen.
He was a strange man.
Oh, that poor kid.
Oh, but don't worry about her. She'll be all right. For once in her life, she'll have some money.
That's particularly important to Lurleen.
It's important to everybody.
I just hope whoever bought that place doesn't start subdividing it or anything.
Oh, that would be awful. It's such beautiful property.
Grant, is there any way that Apex Realty could renege on the deal?
No. No, Brett tells me that the deed of sale is already signed and notarized.
Then there's nothing they can do.
No, not a thing.
At least her grandfather got a good price for the land. Lurleen can be grateful for that.
$500,000. Good price.
Well, Lurleen can sure make good use of that money.
It's about time something turned out right for Lurleen.
Well, hey, Billy Joe.
Hello?
With Ruby.
What do you want to know?
Hey, Billy Joe. If you and I are going to be working together, don't you think that it's high time you got that chip off your shoulder?
We're not going to be working together, little buddy.
If I'm the assistant producer on your show, we are.
Well, any assistant producing you're going to do is just going to have to be done someplace else.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you see, once we start putting the show together, I'm going to have a little talk with Vicki Bellman.
Go ahead. Talk with Vicki Bellman.
I'm going to have you fired, you moron. That's right. I'm not going to have too much difficulty in doing that either.
Because you're such a big shot now, huh?
It's my show. That's not the only reason. I happen to know just what type of woman Vicki Bellman is.
What's that mean?
Just that she's not going to take too kindly to the idea of having a blackmailer on her staff.
Blackmailer?
That's what I said.
Have you talked this over with Ruby yet?
My sister's got nothing to do with it. It's my show.
Then you haven't.
No, I haven't. But, I did tell her to start divorce proceedings against you as soon as possible.
Did you now?
Uh-huh. You see, now that Ricky's kicked her out, well, there's no reason to keep it a secret anymore. Now he's there.
Boy, you think you got it all figured out, don't you?
That's right, Pumpkin. Your little blackmail isn't gonna work anymore. You can tell the world that Ruby's your wife for all I care.
Hey, Billy Joe. When you go see Vicki Bellman, you might show her this, too.
What?
It's a letter. And it just might change her mind about who's blackmailing who.
What do you want? You got what you came for. Why don't you leave me alone?
Not yet.
What could you possibly want now?
Same thing you want.
What?
Well, you were nice enough to give me them papers, and I just want to show you my gratitude.
What are you talking about? Stop it! Don't!
You ain't pregnant.
Justin's not
Man enough. Well, maybe I am. Come on, get over here. Come here, sunshine. Now let's see how high and mighty you are.
Justin! Justin, no! No, Justin! No! Put it down.
He'll be out for a good long while.
You love me.
No, I love you.
TJ wants power and money. That's what it's all about.
Justin Marshall's giving TJ more money.
I assume so. In addition to more power and more opportunities than he'd have at World Oil.
Justin Marshall might promise the moon, but can he deliver?
That's a risk TJ is taking.
I bet your daughter's not the only one who's upset about TJ.
You mean Stryker?
Yes. He's done so much for TJ.
I know. He's upset, but he knows that these things happen in business.
Still can't believe TJ did it.
Meredith, do you have something there to show me?
Oh, yes. It's some promotional material for the new Billy Joe Wright show.
Aha. Now here is something that my husband's really going to be upset about.
Why? It's going to be a great show.
It's not the show. It's the fact that the star of the show has signed a contract with Justin Marshall.
To be spokesperson for his chain of gas stations. I almost forgot about that.
I wish I could. Every time Billy Joe is on that air, he's going to remind me and everyone else that he's promoting Justin's gas stations.
World of big business.
Yeah. Stryker will see it that way, too, but he won't like it any more than I do.
You say he knows these things happen.
Uh-huh. But Billy Joe Wright, he is the last person in the world I'd suspect of pulling something like this. Oh, his sister Ruby's behind this. She's the one I have to watch.
I don't get it. Why you show me a letter here that was written to an Austin paper?
Did you recognize the handwriting?
Well, it looks like it could be Ruby's.
It is Ruby's.
So what? Dear editor, I'm writing this letter regarding the candidacy of Stryker Bellman for the state senate. So what's this got to do with anything? So it's a letter about Stryker Bellman. Even if it was written by my sister, who cares?
Let me finish reading it to you, Billy Joe.
Sure, go ahead, but I don't see the point.
Oh, you will. Regarding the candidacy of Mr. Stryker Bellman for the state senate, how can he possibly serve the public when he can't even control his own wife, Vicky? She's a drunkard. And
What?
Well, let me finish, Billy Joe.
Wait a minute, I heard enough.
There's much more.
Vicky Bellman's no drunk. That was a while ago.
And this letter put the skids under old Stryker Bellman. Because of this letter, he had to bow out of the state senate race.
Ruby sent that letter to the papers?
That's right. Under a phony name, of course, but she didn't mail this one out.
What do you mean?
Well, she had to go through about 4 or 5 drafts before she got her sad story straight.
Damn, it's Ruby's writing.
Well, there's no question about that. Here, let me have it.
I can't believe she did it.
Well, she did it all right. This is a part of her seedy past. And her past has caused Stryker Bellman and Vicky Bellman a lot of grief.
Well, if they ever found out that she wrote that letter.
And now you're getting smart.
So that's what you got on Ruby?
Mm-hmm. If either of them ever get a wind that Ruby wrote this... Well, I don't have to draw you a picture now, do I?
Why'd you write this stupid letter?
Why don't you go ask her?
I will.
And I have a suggestion for you, too, Billy Joe. You ought to treat your assistant producer a little more politely. That is, unless you want Vicky Bellman to find out that Ruby ruined her husband's political career.
I think I'll go sit on the back porch for a while.
Well, that's a good idea, honey. You know, I can't help but worry about her.
She'll be all right, Kate. She has a lot of friends who'll look after her.
It was a lovely service.
I know. Arlene told us about it.
Wish you could have been here.
I intended to, but I was waylaid.
We've been very busy this afternoon.
Oh, did you find out anything about that realty company that bought the Harper place?
Where's Grant? I've got to talk to him.
Well, he's taking a business call in the study. What is it, Rena? You look nervous. Is something wrong?
Plenty.
Rita, did you find out about Apex Realty or not?
Oh, we found out something, all right. But I didn't want to say anything in front of Lurleen. She's been through enough.
Then something is wrong.
Apex Realty is just a front. They aren't the ones who really bought the Harper place.
Well, does that mean that Lurleen won't get the money that's coming to her?
Oh, Kate, she'll get it all right. From Justin Marshall.
Let me see the letter again.
Still not convinced it's Ruby's handwriting, huh?
Just let me see. It's Ruby's handwriting, all right. Nobody in the world has a scrawl like that. But if I kept this, you wouldn't have anything to back up your story now, would you?
Way to keep it.
You let me.
I've got 4 of the drafts of that copy of that letter. So if you're thinking of tearing it up, you're wasting your time. You swore at me, Billy Joe. I didn't write that letter.
Hi, Billy Joe. What's the matter with him?
Beats me.
Well, what do you mean you don't know? You were just standing here talking to him.
The truth, I think he's having a little trouble with his sister.
Well, then why did he give you such a dirty look?
He's in a bad mood.
I suspect if Billy Joe's having trouble, it's got something to do with you, Bo.
Hey, come on. He wasn't that nice to you either. Here, let me have that.
What's that?
Nothing.
Is that what you two were arguing about?
Well, hold on a minute. Who says we were arguing?
Well, then tell me what it is.
This is nothing for you to worry your pretty little head about.
All right. I'll believe you.
Good. Say, you got time to set a while?
With the assistant producer of Billy Joe's show, I guess I do.
Oh, you heard about that, huh?
I sure did. Ricky told me. Is it really true?
Sure is.
Well, I think that's terrific.
Thank you. I feel pretty good about it myself.
It's going to be quite a challenge, now, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. I've already got some ideas for the show, too.
And was it one of those ideas that made Billy Joe so upset just now?
You just don't quit now, do you?
I'm just curious.
Yes, you are. You're also pretty smart.
Well, then I was right.
Billy Joe can be pretty hard-headed sometimes. But I think I convinced him that I know what I'm doing.
Oh, I imagine you do. You know something, Bo? Maybe you and I should plan to get together one night after one of your shows. I'd like to know more about your ideas. Lurleen?
Hello, Ruby.
No. I just wanted to tell you how sorry I was to hear about your grandfather. I know how sad you must be right now.
You heard about it?
Mm-hmm. It was in the paper. I wanted to come to the funeral, but I didn't want to intrude. I know that's a time for family and for close friends.
You would have been welcome.
I'd like you to think that I'm your friend, Lurleen.
Oh?
Were you very close to your granddaddy?
He was all I had left since my parents died.
No brothers and sisters?
Oh, well, I have a brother. But he left home a couple of years ago. I don't know where he is. He and my granddaddy didn't get along.
Well, if you don't know where he is, how are you going to get his inheritance to him?
Inheritance?
Oh, there was something in the paper about that, too.
Well, I guess I can't get it to him, at least not till he comes back.
Which could be never.
I never thought about that.
Do you have somebody to advise you, Lurleen?
Advise me?
Mm-hmm. About the money you're getting from your inheritance. You should invest it.
I never thought about that either.
I understand. You're still just thinking about your granddaddy, aren't you?
Are you all right?
Yeah. I'm just remembering what it was like when my own grandfather passed away. He was the most wonderful man in the world, Lurleen. I loved him so much.
When did he pass away?
When I was a little girl. But I'd already lost both my parents, so I know what you're going through.
You were so young then. It must have been so much harder on you.
He was so good to me, Lurleen. He left me a little money, a very small sum. But all I could think about was how much I was going to miss him, how much I wanted him to come back. I know how you felt. He was so wise, too. I remember his dying words to me. He said, "Ruby, now I've left you this money, but I want you to be very, very careful, because there are certain unscrupulous people in this world."
Lurleen, I brought you out a sweater. It's getting kind of chilly.
Thank you, Miss Kate. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Ruby Wright.
Sure wish Grant would get off that phone.
Rena, why don't you just sit down and relax until he does?
How can I relax knowing that Justin is up to something again?
I wonder what it is. From what you've told me about him, he's really something.
He's a louse, and I'm going to talk to your daddy about Justin.
When did you finally realize that Justin was using Apex Realty for a front?
I should have known the moment I laid eyes on that guy that runs the place.
Why, what was he like?
Oh, he was shifty-eyed and shady-looking, a very disreputable-looking character, right, Brett?
He looked like a small-time crook.
Just the sort of fellow you'd expect Justin to associate himself with.
That guy was right out of the funny papers. And not very bright.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it was so easy to worm it out of him who he bought the Harper place for.
Well, maybe he thought there was nothing to hide.
If there was nothing to hide, Justin Marshall would have bought the property outright.
Justin knows as well as we do that there's no oil on that property, right? So why does he want it?
That's what I want to know.
Well, he must have had some good reason for buying the property.
Yeah, well, I got an idea about that.
What?
Well, it seems to me that the best explanation would be that Justin didn't want anyone to know he had slant drilled that property.
I didn't know anything about that.
Well, that could be the reason. You don't look convinced, Rena.
I'm not. Darn, I wish Grant would get off the phone so I could talk to him. I think I want to hurry him up a little.
She's a little impatient, isn't she?
Rena and I did a pretty good job of tracking it all down, didn't we?
Well, you did a great job.
Imagine two women doing that.
Yeah, imagine that. I just wonder why you didn't let me in on all of this when you saw me earlier today. I mean, you did know what the setup was then, didn't you?
Yes, but I didn't think it was any of your business, Decker. Besides, I was in a hurry.
Why don't you like me?
Actually, Miss Kate and I have already met.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It was at the barn dance, remember? How nice to see you again. I've heard a lot about you.
Oh? What have you heard?
All kinds of wonderful things. Oh, it sure is beautiful out here. I love the wide open spaces. And the air is superb.
Is that what brought you out here? The air?
No, I came to pay my condolences to Lurleen.
Ruby's granddaddy died when she was a little girl. She was very close to him.
I understand how Lurleen feels now, so I know it's important to have good friends around.
Oh, and you and Lurleen are good friends.
We know each other from the coop.
I see.
Ruby, there's tea and sandwiches inside if you'd like a bite to eat.
Oh, I don't think so. I think I better go back to the coop.
You have to go this minute?
Yeah, I think I should.
But you didn't finish telling me your story about your granddaddy. It was about his last words to Ruby.
Well, I think you've had enough sadness for one day. I'll tell you some other time.
Thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm. You make sure you come visit me at the coop now, okay?
I will, Ruby. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye, Miss Kate. Awful nice seeing you again.
Goodbye.
We're glad to have him back in custody.
Well, you are. Well, I hope you can hang on to him this time.
He'll be under tight security, Mr. Marshall. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you, officer.
Yeah, thank you.
Someone will be in touch with you, Mrs. Marshall, about coming in to file a complaint.
Listen, will that be necessary?
That's okay. Thank you, officer. Thank you again. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You sure you're all right?
I'm fine.
I got here in the nick of time.
I thought you had gone to a meeting.
I came back here to get a folder. I'm lucky I forgot it.
Thank goodness you are forgetful sometimes.
I can't understand what Bubba was doing here.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
The risk that he took, it just doesn't make any sense.
He's crazy. He's always been crazy.
Yeah, he did look at you that way, didn't he?
Yeah.
If you hadn't stopped me, Ashley, I would have killed that
I
louse.
know. Don't talk about it. I know.
Connie. He didn't...
No. No. You got here in time.
I think you and I have to go home. Come on.
Justin, I forgot something. Don't forget your suitcase, sweetheart.
I don't dislike you, Ricky. Where'd you get that idea?
Are you kidding?
Is it because I don't fall all over you?
Hey, I don't expect every girl I meet to be crazy about me.
What's your batting average?
I do all right.
Good.
You think I'm stuck on myself, don't you? Is that why you call me Decker?
I'm not mocking you.
Oh, you could have fooled me.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to come up with a name for you myself.
Be my guest. I have a sense of humor.
And you don't think I do?
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I have a first name, too.
Your parents were thoughtful.
When I come up with that name, I'm gonna let you know.
Shall I hold my breath?
No, I don't think you better do that. Well, I think I better get back to town.
I have a feeling that Rena would like me to stick around. And I'll tell you what. If she doesn't need me, I'll let you drive me back. Would that be all right with you?
Oh. Sure.
Good.
Suppose Ricky is right.
You mean about why Justin bought the ring?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's too pat.
Yes, it's too pat.
We know there's no oil on that property.
Do we?
Well, surveys showed it.
Oh, surveys can be wrong. You know that as well as I do.
Yes.
So it is possible that Justin could have had another survey done that showed that there was oil.
All right. Let's assume that there is oil. There's nothing we wouldn't do about it.
We're just going to let him get away with it?
Rena, even if there is oil on the property, even if we don't like the way Justin acquired the property, he is the legal owner. There's nothing we can do about it.
Oh.
Elena, maybe we could get together tomorrow night.
Maybe. I think it's important that we get to know each other both.
I'd like that. Ladies?
What was that all about?
What?
You know what?
You mean Bo and me? Well, we were just talking about getting together sometime.
I don't think that's such a hot idea.
Why not?
It isn't.
All right then, Ruby. Why don't you tell me what you and Bo are hiding?
We're not hiding anything. What a silly thing to say.
All right, have it your way. I'll find out sooner or later.
Where's Billy Joe?
He's in the office. I wouldn't bother him if I were you.
Why not?
He's in a lousy mood.
How come?
He had some sort of fight with Bo.
About what?
Something about a letter.
A letter?
Yes, you know anything about it?
Uh-uh. I was going to ask you.
Well, I don't know what was in the letter, but it must have been pretty interesting to set Billy Joe off that way, you know?
Yeah.
You're sure going to have your hands full when Bo starts working on that show with Billy Joe.
You know, Lena, I've been thinking. Why don't you and I stop this petty bickering?
Petty?
It's all in the past now.
You turned Joe into Pete Parnell and Jim Lawrence. You expect me to forget about that, Ruby?
That happened in the past, Elena.
They could have killed him.
But they didn't. That's the important thing. And now, especially with Ricky having his own show and everything, I just think you and I should put all that behind us.
What does my brother have to do with this?
Well, I'd like you to appear on Ricky's show. In fact, I've been thinking. I would really like to manage your career just like I do Ricky's and Billy Joe's.
You would like to be my manager?
I think I could make you even a bigger star than you were before. And I'd love to pair you up with Ricky for a brother-sister act.
You're really scared, aren't you, Ruby? And it's just a matter of time till I find out. Yes, sirree. It's just a matter of time until I find out what Bo has on you.
I guess we got everything.
Looks like it.
That was so nice of you to have tea and sandwiches, Miss Kate. Thank you.
Well, thank you for helping us to clean up. I think everything went very well.
Yes, it did. Where's Jenny?
Oh, she went over to Wanda and Buddy's to get Steve. She must still be there.
She was such a comfort to me today. Of course, everybody was so nice. I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, no, you don't have to thank us, Lurleen. We're happy to do what we can for you.
You know, I thought it was especially nice of Ruby to drive all the way from Houston to offer her condolences. You don't like Ruby, do you?
Well, I don't really know her, Lurleen.
You don't think she's a nice person?
I just don't like to make judgments about people. But you watch yourself with her.
Why?
Well, I just don't think she's the kind of person you should have for a friend.
She's Ricky's manager.
I know that. And I know she lived with Ricky for a while.
A lot of couples live together before getting married these days.
I'm aware of that. But it takes a different kind of woman to run a saloon.
Well, the Coop's not a saloon. It's kind of a country and western nightclub.
I know exactly what the Coop is. The ranch hands have been going there for years.
I still think it was really sweet of Ruby to come see me.
You busy? I guess you are. Well, I'll just stay a minute. I just wanted you to know that my instincts were right. Lurleen really appreciated my coming over to see her at the ranch. What's wrong with you? You still mad at me for that?
Bo showed me the letter you wrote.
What letter?
The one you wrote to the newspaper about Stryker Bellman. Aren't you going to deny it?
I can't deny the truth, Billy Joe.
Why not? That's what you usually do when you do something wrong.
Why did Bo have to go show you that letter?
The question is, Ruby, is why did you write it?
Because I was angry.
Angry?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you ever being angry enough to do something like that, Ruby. You sent a letter to the newspaper and you ruins a man's chances for a political career.
I know
How
what
do you think
I
Vicky
did,
Bellman
Billy
felt?
Joe.
Well, aren't you going to tell me why you did it? Now, what did you ever have against Stryker Bellman?
Nothing. It was his wife I wanted to hurt back then, Billy Joe. And writing that letter was the only way I could think of.
And what did you have against Vicky Bellman?
Lenny.
Ruby, what did she ever do to you?
She didn't even know I was alive back then.
Is that all?
No. I was down on my luck, Billy Joe. I was just starting out managing country western singers. I tried to get my singers on her program in Nashville. She wouldn't talk to me, Billy Joe. She wouldn't give me the time of day.
Ruby, did it ever occur to you that maybe your singers were no good?
Her assistant told me that she wouldn't deal with a nobody. He made fun of me, Billy Joe. He told me my singers were all a bunch of no talents. All I wanted was one chance. And she wouldn't give it to me. When you're poor and you're angry, down on your luck, sometimes you get bitter. And you do nasty things to get even.
What you did, Ruby, was wrong.
I know that now, Billy Joe. But I was angry. I was poor. I was desperate. I was trying to get even with somebody who didn't even know that I existed. I am so sorry I wrote that letter now. I'm so damn sorry.
Ruby, don't you see? Sorry's not enough now.
I know that, Billy Joe. When I did it, I couldn't help myself, but I know it was wrong.
You know what's going to happen once... Do you have any idea what could happen once Vicky Bellman ever found out what you did? Huh?
I know. I'll never work in TV again. Not in Nashville. Not here. Nowhere.
That's right. You'd be lucky if you got a job of any kind once Vicky Bellman got through with you.
We can't let her find out that I wrote the letter, Billy Joe. We can't.
We better not count on that, darling. Not as long as Bo Baker's around. There's no telling what that jerk might do.
Hello, Rena.
Hi. I'll take care of these now, Vicky.
All right, Meredith. Well, how was the funeral, dear?
I missed it.
Oh? Bill, how is Lurleen?
She's bearing up. Justin Marshall bought her grandfather's ranch.
I thought some realty firm bought that.
No, that was just a front that Justin was using.
Why would he want that land? There's no oil on it.
We don't know what he's up to, Mama. Except one thing is clear. That man never gives up. He's made life miserable for Kate and everyone else out there. And he's responsible for Max's death. And now this. I mean, who knows what he's going to do next?
What does Grant say?
He says that there's nothing we can do about it. Justin is now the legal owner of the Harper place.
You'll have to accept it.
How can I accept that? Max died for that land.
Honey, the situation has changed. Kate sold the mineral rights on her ranch to World Oil. And don't forget, you're in the oil business yourself.
I don't care about any of that. Justin is up to something, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Oh, I didn't mean to startle you.
I ought to kill you.
Ooh, I guess you must have talked to Billy Joe.
You guessed right. Why did you tell him about that letter, Bo?
Because I wanted to get him off my back. I succeeded, didn't I?
At my expense. You really did a number on me.
Not as big a number as I could have done, Pumpkin. I could have showed that letter to Vicky Bellman or a couple of other people around town. But as things stand, just the family knows about it. You, your brother, and me, your ever-loving husband.
I'm through with you, Bo. I want you out of my life.
Oh, that's right. Billy Joe did say something about suggesting you get a divorce.
He's right. I'm going to do it.
Go ahead. If you want your face plastered all over the front of the Houston Gazette. Or do you think that it's going to be hard for me to prove that you sent that letter about Stryker Bellman?
Get out of my sight.
Well, as a matter of fact, I am a little thirsty right now, and I think I'll go get me a beer. Would you like to join me? See you, Pumpkin.
Bo, you are never going to get away with this.
I already have.
We'll see about that.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.